All right, welcome to the final review of our four-part series. I'm Diecast for Radio Free Cybertron Reviews, and this is Steeljaw. And first thing I have to say out of package, I was really worried about this guy. His arms were actually compressed all the way in, and it looked like he didn't have an arm joint because they were just like that. And the only articulation was up at the shoulder to either bend out or swing around. Um, so that worried me. But then I figured out from looking at the packaging, you just have to pull the arms down. Now, on his left hand, when you pull it down, there's kind of a rotation or a ratchet, kind of like a fake ratchet almost, right in there. And even though you pull it down all the way, if you just start trying to pull it up, it feels like it's going to break. So what you want to do is you want to keep pulling down, and even when I'm pulling down, kind of turn it. It's just really tight. Doesn't feel good. It feels like plastic bending. Luckily, it's a softer plastic, so it didn't break. But I think if you put enough pressure, it definitely would. Next, we'll get into the feet. The feet are just, I don't know if that's the back or the front of the car. Assuming it's the back. Or no, that might be the front. But he's just standing on the front of the car. And they kind of faked his feet. And he's being supported by his tail. Which is, his tail was actually bent in too from the, I don't know. So yeah, he's got his tail. That's what's supporting him. I thought this was a neat idea. It's almost like, for the Decepticon characters, it's like Beast Wars mixed with RID, because they still do turn into cars. But the only purpose this tail is holding is to really support him and to support the fact that he's supposed to be some sort of wolf, I guess. Also, his weapon is a little claw weapon, and that's just on a single peg, so you can peg it into his hand. So next we'll get into transformation. He's actually a 9-step. So the most steps so far that we've seen was Grimlock, which was a 10-step. Honestly, these figures have kind of gone downhill since I opened Grimlock. Grimlock, in my opinion, so far is the best of the wave. It doesn't seem like he's going to beat Grimlock either. He's got these huge tires hanging off his back, and it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem very good. I thought for Decepticon, the only one of the wave, they were going to put out a really strong figure. But I guess that was just me hoping rather than anything. His head does move from side to side. It's on a mushroom cap. There's no ball joint. His arms can go up and down. As you can see, I'm not going to bend his arms again, but they can bend a little bit. Legs are on a ball joint, so it's not the universal. He does have the upper thigh swivel and a little bit of knee bend, but his legs are almost all the way bent to begin with. Yeah. And then the feet do bend forward, but that's for transformation. I guess that somehow makes the front of the car. So let's get into transformation. The first thing it says to do on this is actually flip out these door panels on top of his arm. And of course, I'm going to take the weapon off, because that's always in the way. And then we're going to slide these back. And he does have a swivel here, also at the upper bicep. So we're just going to slide those back, straighten that out, slide it back. And it wants you to pull these arms out and flip the head piece down. And that brings out the whole back section around. And then when you come around here and bring that whole back section around, you can bend that back just like so. And then the tail, it's telling you to flip up. It really doesn't tell you where to flip it up to, but it can go through the back. And then you can fold the tip of the tail back underneath. And they'll still sit underneath the wheels, and it won't affect the wheels. And it wants you to come down to the legs, fold the legs up, bring them around and forward. Fold the leg, then peg that all together. And then you just have to bring the doors up. These are very, you kind of got to slide everything into place because they're limiting steps. So like the hand here, you have to make sure you get that slid underneath the door or underneath the front of the car before you peg everything in. So it's a lot of panel aligning. Clipping everything in. And there's the car. And his weapon, let's see if that can peg anywhere. It actually can peg right into the top. Just like so. And it's not a bad little car. I mean, for the robot mode is definitely really weak, but the car's not too bad, and it's definitely got some charm to it. It's just a neat little car. Bringing strong arm, you can see she's still big, and the panels still keep coming apart, even just sitting by herself. And then Bumblebee is a little bit large, a little bit longer. But definitely very low to the ground. I really like that design of his car. How low they kept that to the ground to really emphasize that sports car in him. And also we'll bring in Grimlock. So you can see how Grimlock compares to these guys. And Grimlock, again, if you're going to get any figure, any Wave 1 figure, and you're not a Bumblebee fan, Grimlock is definitely the one to pick up. He's an excellent design, excellent transformation. His robot and dinosaur mode are very strong. So there you have all four. And what I'll do is I'll actually pause the video and I'll transform these guys back into robot mode to give you one look at all four of them together in robot mode. And here you have the 2015 Warrior class Transformers RID Wave 1 figures all together in robot mode. Everyone has a weapon except Grimlock, but Grimlock honestly is the strongest figure out of the wave, and he doesn't even need a weapon. He's just awesome. So definitely, if you're going to pick up one, pick up Grimlock. If I had to recommend a second, it actually would be Bumblebee. Uh, um, these two, it's a toss up. Yeah, Strong Arm is just a shell former with lots of back kibble and a lot of dull surprise. You want to talk about dull surprise? That's it right there. That's dull surprise. Just no expression on her face. At least Bumblebee has a little bit of a smirk, gives him some character. Yeah. Um, and Steeljaw is just if he had real feet and maybe didn't need his tail to stand him up, he would be a lot better. There's just he's definitely obviously not my favorite of the wave. Um, but there you go. There you have the 2015 Transformers RID Warriors.